Hello. So I think this is about my 99th video, and I decided to do a very niche game called Hattrick. It's an online soccer management simulation, and it's in 130 plus countries. And I've been playing it for the most part since 2002. At this point, you're allowed to have teams in multiple countries. Initially, for about the first 20 years, you were only allowed to play in your own country. So I was limited to the US. And in fact, one time I tried to play in Belgium, and another time I tried to play in Japan, and I ended up losing all my teams and having to restart because of a ban. But now, as long as you have the subscription, you're actually allowed to do that. So this is my team in Puerto Rico called Atletico de Juan Ponce de Leon Laiosa. I'm not quite sure how to say that, but Ponce de Leon is cool. So that's what I called it. So it's all about long-term planning and strategy and developing your players. Every season is 16 weeks, 14 games, and then 2 weeks off. And the players all age 1 year. And they come up from the youth squads, and they're only born in the particular country where the team is. And there's a big transfer market. It's kind of like a eBay or a World of Warcraft auction market. Same thing. Very dynamic. And player values tend to change based on how the game develops over the year. But they don't do any development changes very rapidly. They take into consideration the long-term players. So they'll do a blog and they'll announce some kind of game change 3 seasons ahead of time so you can make accommodations. So every Sunday night, you have a weekly league match. So my match has already happened in Puerto Rico, but you can do this thing called relive, where you, instead of having to sit here for the full 90 minutes, you can just play next event, and only have to see when something actually happens. Because a lot of time can pass with nothing particularly happening. I'm the home team in this one. The home team usually gets, I think, about a level of possession, a level of playmaking advantage. So you can see here, I'm playing against another team called Porto Rogna, and I have 77% possession, and my attack is just absolutely dominating, and they don't have anything higher than 46% in the middle. He's bottom of the table, besides the teams that don't have owners. If a team goes bot, they just clear it out with scrub players and everybody walks over them. Pardon me. So I can just hit up here and hit next event, and I can change. Here you can see all the different players. You can actually, if it's your player, you can see the full stats. I'm not going to show that too much because that's kind of proprietary information. Only I can see it. Other people only know what the star rating is. And the star rating is dependent on the position. Forwards generally get the highest star ratings. Wingers kind of the next highest. Midfielders, it's tougher for goalkeepers. They can be at the highest tier of goalkeeping and still only get about 9 stars, 8 stars. But you can be only about a mid-tier, lower mid-tier forward and already be getting 6 or 7 stars. But you can see we're both playing a pretty weird formation. 2 defenders, 5 midfielders, 3 forwards. But it's the attack-oriented formation. But even with 3 forwards, he's not getting through my quite high-level defense because I have a very good goalkeeper. He's, I'll just show you. Nobody's in my division. Who cares? Oh, that's not my goalkeeper. Hold on a second. So my goalkeeper, he is Polish. So that means he was originated on an actual team in Poland, and I bought him. He's mythical. There's only 3. That's 17 out of 20. And that every level of goalkeeper training when you're about a 17-year-old still takes, I want to say 6 or 7 real weeks. And then the higher up you get, the longer it takes. Okay, so even though they only have 23% possession, somehow they got the first chance, but my defense shut them down, luckily. But he's mythical. So that means there's only 3 levels he could possibly go higher. And the higher level you go up, the longer it takes to train. So starting out, say you might be a passable goalkeeper, which I think, right here, level 6. It might only take, when the younger you are, the faster you can train. And I should say that a team can only train one skill at a time. So if you're training goalkeepers, that's all you can train. And your coach has a certain skill, and your assistant coaches have a certain skill, and that all adds up to determine, and the age of the player. But even at 17 is the youngest on the main squad. You can have a youth squad, but I'm not going to get into that. But a 17-year-old passable goalkeeper with a solid coach, which is basically the highest coach anybody has, might level up in 5 or 6 weeks. But as it gets up to level 12, level 13, it could take 10 weeks. So mythical is about as high as you ever see. And even that, he's only an 8.5-star goalkeeper. And they have another thing called form, and it comes and goes, but the more you play them, the chances are that it'll stay good. The highest is excellent, which is 7, 8. 8 is the highest form you can have. He's at 6. Stamina, the older you get, the harder it is to keep it up, but the highest it can get is formidable, but excellent is really all you need. Solid is pretty good, especially for a goalkeeper. He never really runs out. So that's the gist of skills. So let's go through the events of this game. Right now, 0-0. I have the edge. I should convincingly win this one, but the match engine simulates chaos because real soccer is a bit of chaos, but it's frustrating at times. We'll see. All right. Oh, he's getting transferred, so they're saying his shirts are... There's some color commentary added in. That's fun, but I'm not too concerned about that. Oh, I scored a goal. I went through that one a little bit too quickly, but it was my midfielder here. He scored a goal. And you can read all this. It's got a lot of interesting color and flavor to it. Just for example, he says, some good play going on from both sides here. Atletico have the ball at the moment. Play has switched onto the left wing. Lucien Coulin has got the ball, and he's away. Will they catch him? Lucien Coulin is closing in on goal. The keeper is rushing out to block him. Goal, goal. Cool as a cucumber. The ball is placed somewhat ruthlessly past the despairing keeper, who can do nothing to stop it. Pick that one out of the net. Lucien Coulin is the scorer, and Atletico take the lead 1-0. That's in the 12th minute. It's a 90-minute match. The interesting thing is, as you start to score 2 or 3 goals, you'll actually pull back defensively, and your defense ratings will go up, and your attack ratings will start to go down. But then you pretty much have locked the game down. All right, we can click on this to see who they're talking about. Okay, they're saying that this is just some flavor text saying that the other team's goalkeeper has been transfer listed. Oh, and that's interesting. Last time I had a 4-4 draw with this team. You have 8 teams in your league, and you play each other team twice. So it's a round robin, 14 real weeks. All right, this is my striker who is from my youth squad, so he's Puerto Rican. Anybody you bring in from your youth squad gets a 1.5 bonus in every single skill when they play for you. And he just scored. I mean, he's nice. 12 scoring magnificent, 11 passing brilliant, 6 winger. Forwards use a little bit of winger skill, especially if you play them towards the wing. But passing, scoring is the main thing, passing is the secondary thing. How many goals is that for him this season? He's got 11 goals this season, 50 goals in his pro career, and I guess 114 if you count friendlies, perhaps, is what that means. So I'm up 2-0. And, now they just have... The probabilities are they're not going to score at all. They're outmatched. Home field advantage is a big edge, and then I'm just a stronger team than this other guy. All right, Baptista, he's interesting. I picked him up not too long ago. He's from Mozambique. Titanic defending, world-class playmaking, magnificent passing, and he's He's older. He's 36. I make use of old guys in a lot of my teams. Oh, man, he's only got inadequate stamina, so he'll start to tire out towards the end of the first half. He'll refresh. He'll get tired again by about the 65th minute. But he does really well in the earlier parts of the game, so I'll take him. 3-0. So, yeah, I mean, now they only have a 20. He must have a very terrible stamina team because they're starting to fall apart. I'm just dominating everywhere percentage-wise. 3-0 at the half. So then they give you a different possession. There's a possession that they list here, but this is the dynamic possession. I don't know why there's a difference, but there is. I tend to believe the dynamic rather than the static one they list here. All right, we're giving out lessons in how to play football. Tucks through the middle are making things dangerous. I should mention all my strikers came from my youth squad, and I trained them all up over the course of real years. Oh, this guy. This guy is from Kazakhstan, and look at him. He's just loaded with skills. And the special thing about him is that he has Divine is the highest, but they'll actually let you go beyond it. He has Divine +2 experience because he played on the national team of Kazakhstan for a long time. There's national teams in this game. I've never once had a national team player as he was playing, but a few times I've been lucky enough to buy former national team players. But you're talking only 20 players at any given time. And there could be, let's say even in a small league, there would be 500 teams, and each of those teams have 30 players. So the chances of getting anybody on a national team, you have to know the right people, and you have to just have dedicated training. So it's a cool mechanic, though, that exists. And then these teams play each other, and the World Cups happen, and a real human manages the national team. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing like this game in terms of ongoing strategy. If you like soccer, you should just sign up. And if you are interested in signing up, ask me for my referral link because I've never bothered with recruiting, but there are various recruiting bonuses. It's free to play. I subscribe just to have multiple teams, but you can play one team for free. 5-0. Andre Soto, he's actually a winger, all the way from my youth squad up to 28. His main skill is passing, which isn't that impressive, but I'm playing him as a midfielder towards the wing because a lot of my other midfielders are out of form. And, I mean, 7 stars, he's doing well. He scored. 53rd minute here. All right. I have the ball. Pass it to the left. Soto again. Are these defenders going to be able to stop him? Statistically, they should not. Dribbles past everyone, keeps heading toward the away goal. Seems Atletico is going to increase their lead here. And he did. 2 goals. 2 in a row. And as many minutes. Very impressive. The match engine usually tends to screw me, but that's what everybody thinks. You remember the bad screwings. You don't remember these dominations. Human nature. Free kick. I sped through it. So free kicks, indirect free kicks, are based on all of your team's set piece skill. It's another skill you can train. And then also like some of your players' scoring skill and like whether some of your players have the heading attribute. A lot goes into it. But my super old 39-year-old player coach, he's the coach and he's still playing. He scored a free kick. And at this point in the game, actually, no. Never mind. The coach was dancing, is what I was saying. He's not. He is playing, but he's not in this match. He's out of form, I think. He was dancing. It was actually this guy who scored. Let's click on him. There we go. This guy. Yeah, another my homegrown striker, Villafonier. Fanye. My Spanish is a little... Oh, come on. That's terrible. Spanish is a little rusty. All right. So that's 7-0. Pretty bad. He's got 2. He's got 2. So a couple guys chasing hat tricks with plenty of time left to do it. Absolute domination here. I could take this convincing win because I'm not that high in the table. I focused on the domestic cup for a while, and so I struggled in the league. Playing ball on the right. They should not score. They have 3% chance to score. Just gonna skip and hope they don't score. Okay, good. They didn't score. That would have been... Sometimes it happens, but 3% would be outrageous. And I had a chance on the left. Should have been 62%, but I missed it. It was my Mozambique intermid who missed it. We got 71st minute here. My wingback is being subbed out. You can set 3 substitutions ahead of time, especially for low stamina older players. It's a good idea. So because of the fact that he's got passable stamina, I mean, defenders don't get as tired as forwards and midfielders, but this guy is basically his equivalent skill level. So bring him on in to finish off the game. Now, like that, they have no chance of scoring because I've shored up the defense there. All right, we're going to get some stoppage time. And that's it. So that's Hattrick. Then you can get the summary ratings. Solid midfield, supernatural, very high. Right defense, brilliant, low. Central defense, supernatural, low. Left defense, outstanding across the board attacking. Just absolutely statistically dominated this guy. And sometimes the scoreline doesn't match that. But in this case, it did, 7-0. So let's see, where does that put me in the table after the 11th week, real time, 14 weeks possible. I hang on at 4th place with 22 points, 32 goal differential, and you can see he was down at 7th. He's lost his last 5 matches, probably more than that, because he's won 1 and 9. So it should have always been my game. I have a strong team. In fact, I won the whole series last season. I just kind of focused on the cup. But I have the highest goal differential. I'm only 3 points back. So if I can beat this 6th place Eagle Storm on the road next week, and this Belingas team could lose to Sam, I could potentially jump back up into top. So that's Hattrick, the best soccer management game on the internet. You can play in 130 plus real countries. The players from that country can only be created from a new team starting out there or from the youth squad of that team. It takes so much tactical thinking, so much long-term planning, or you can just kind of wing it and hope for the best. If you have any questions about it, ask me in the comments. I enjoy getting referrals because they give you some perks for that, but I've never bothered. But even if you're not interested in that, just ask me. If you're a player yourself, let me know. Thanks for watching.